hello, hello. This is Carib Carter Clues, and welcome to Leslie at Large with Leslie Lawrence in Nicaragua. And today, the ever delightful Leslie is going to give us, she wrote me a note here, tips and tricks for travel to Nicaragua. And I think a lot of you ought to go. Leslie, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Carter?
I am fantastic. You look great, and the background is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's nice and green here. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful day. But yeah, I started thinking about, other things that people are always, curious about. We had some great news. Let's just start with great news. Isn't that
Good.
something everyone wants to start their day with? So this past week, two different airlines have announced, put official writings out that they are coming back into the Managua airport later this fall. So we've got American Airlines and Spirit Airlines. So that is wonderful news for everyone here, especially in the tourism industry.
Oh,
People have been curious about coming here to maybe, make this a vacation home or a new place to relocate. So we're all very excited about that announcement.
fantastic. I am particularly thrilled personally to hear about Spirit because that's my favorite airline. The flight chart, the prices that Spirit charges for a ticket are like unbelievable. I mean, it's like if you follow them, you can go. I can do round trip to my home in Honduras for $400, and I'll bet you it's similar with Nicaragua,
Right.
right?
That's amazing. Yeah. And I think they pretty much right now, the flight will be out of Fort Lauderdale into Managua.
Right?
I think Spirit's one of those, it's kind of hit or miss. Some people love it and some have challenges, but I've never had an issue the few times I have flown them. Of course, American Airlines, let's just face it, everyone in the travel industry right now, I keep hearing of all the cancellations, all the things going on with the different airlines in the States. I've been flying pretty much Avianca the entire time, coming in and out of here, occasionally Copa, Air Mexico. I haven't tried yet, but Avianca's been pretty regular. I haven't experienced any cancellations with them. My tip on flying Avianca, because like I said, I've done it during COVID, post COVID travel. We have all these new phrases that we're learning.
Terrible.
My tip
Terrible.
with I know. My tip with the Avianca though is that if you just get to to Miami, if you're coming from the States, really coming from anywhere, get to Miami. Buy a Southwest airline tickets to Miami for, $80, $90. Then it's a simple, very simple direct flight from Miami to Managua. Some people, when they're going to like google.com/flights and looking for different options, they'll put in their home state to Managua, and it's like several $1,000s, and it's all
Right?
these different
Right?
stops. No, 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 no. Do separate tickets. Go from your home to Miami, get there, and then do a Miami to Managua. Same going back. It'll save you a lot of money, and it'll make the travel time a lot less. So that's my huge tip for
That's that is a great tip. Now, is Avianca the Nicaraguan airline?
Avianca. I can't even remember. They're based somewhere out of this part of the world, and so they travel between a lot of the different places here. There are some. I
Wow.
know some of our residents that come from like Colorado and California. They will actually fly. I think Avianca from maybe from California, somewhere over there, and go through El Salvador. And I haven't done that, but they say it's a pretty simple, you know. Connecting point as well. Then they go El Salvador to here. So, like I said, depending
Yeah.
where you're coming from, even when I've been traveling back to Belize, it has been so much easier to go to Miami, as crazy as it sounds, because I'm going the opposite way. Go to Miami, get there, Miami to Belize, instead of having to hop
Beautiful.
through maybe Guatemala, El Salvador, multiple countries.
Beautiful. I have been to I have flown through El Salvador, and the airport is gorgeous. Where do you go there? It is a beautiful modern airport. Yeah.
I've heard,
Yeah.
I have colleagues that have flown through there, and I've heard good things about it. Heard there's great little restaurants and bars and stuff to hang out if you have a few hours to kill. But I'll tell you another, while we're speaking of little airports to go through, another little tip and trick is going through Costa Rica. So I've done that a couple times, and it's a great little airport in Liberia. So that's another one. I actually had luck one time where I had a direct flight from Liberia to Austin, so I could go see family, and it was only a couple $100s. I was shocked. And then from there, there's tons of like car services and things, so they can get you to the border. The border crossing. The first time I did it, I was like, I don't know. I'm by myself. Is this, what's this going to look like? I'm on, on foot, and I've got my little bag I'm here I come down this road. I don't even know where
Right.
I'm wandering. I'm like, where's the border? Is there going to be a big sign? But it's very easy to do. People are willing to kind of point and help, and you find the immigration office in Costa Rica. Like if you're coming in, you go to the Costa Rica side, you tell them you're transiting through, then you go on your way towards the Nicaraguan side. You find their immigration building, you walk in, and you get your, tourist visa stamp there, and you have a driver waiting on that side, and they bring you or take you to wherever you're going.
This is great advice. Let repeat, if you would, the advice, because I can catch Southwest right here in Harrisburg, which is only 40 minutes from me. Get Southwest and then book a second flight on Avianca. Is that AV?
Avianca, Avianca Airlines.
Fantastic, excellent. Thank you. That is a good tip. You said you were going to give us tips and tricks. That's an excellent one. Thank you.
Told you, Carter, I have been, I travel a lot for work. So I'm in and out of these different countries. And, I have friends that they're always like, how do you do that by yourself? And I would be intimidated, and I'm not used to traveling overseas. But once you start doing it, like I get some of the countries, if you're not, Spanish speaking, there's that intimidation of what am I going to do? Again, just try. You just learn some key phrases like no español. I mean, I think you can learn that. Like, or no
hablo, no hablo español. That's a very simple phrase, folks. I don't speak Spanish. There you go.
Yeah, and then if they're talking to you Spanish, you just go no entiendo. Like I don't understand.
Very good.
That's all you need to know. And I'm telling you, pointing and they're going to be willing to help you out. They're used to having travelers come in.
Yes.
You can do it. That's my best advice. You can do it. But, in the beginning of travel, just research the destination you're going to, reach out. We have great resources at our company. We're always, trying to help people understand how to get in and out of the countries, especially, with this post-COVID travel. Every country kind of is a little different right now. So you want to know all the facts before you book your ticket, before you plan your trip. Again, we're willing to help answer those questions for you if it's, countries that we're familiar with. There's tons of great resources out there online, but definitely research your destination. That's my first piece of advice. Little things that I always do, and just, over the years of traveling, take a picture of your passport.
I like it. I like that. Excellent.
You've got it in your phone. When you're coming, like if something were to happen, you've got a picture of your passport. You need that. So that's a simple thing. Keep all your key documents, travel documents. I wear, like for women, get a crossbody purse. They're little. You can keep it strapped on you. I'll carry my, larger bag or carry on. I'm not a fan. I try to pack light. I try to do carry on only if you can. Now, women, I know if it's a longer trip, you may want multiple bags. So I'm okay with that. But my best advice is go light in the packing and heavy on the memories. That's my tip there. Okay.
I like that.
So
I like that.
Light on the packing, heavy on the memories. You don't need all the stuff, especially when you're in these parts of the world. It's just about being outdoors. And I could do a whole probably segment on packing. So maybe we'll do that sometime too. That'll be fun.
I like that. And keep in mind, you can get what you need when you get to the country. I think sometimes we get this in our head that like we're traveling to outer Mongolia or something. All the stores, folks, that you need are there, and the prices are cheap. So don't carry something that you can get when you get there.
No, don't carry the big. I see, and I love some of my friends, but when I see how they pack sometimes and they're struggling, I'm like, okay, you're bringing your big, huge bottles of shampoo and conditioner and hairsprays. I usually just, like you said, I go into a pharmacy of wherever I land, and they always have the little travel sizes. I just grab them once I get there, the basic things I need. Now, I know you may have your favorites, but again, you can really, if a week without a lot of those items, and it'll make the travel much more enjoyable. Trust me.
Much more enjoyable. And I want to point out, I have never had an unpleasant experience in a Central American airport. I never have. I mean, they're very, like you just, and you reminded me of that when you said about very polite. Very polite. I saw very quickly, had a funny experience at the Roatan airport, right? Roatan Island, a lot of folks, that's part of Honduras, off the coast of Honduras. But a woman was there yelling at the guy behind the counter, an American woman, because her flight was delayed, right? Well, this is Central America, folks. So expect delays. She's on, and he's just smiling and saying, "See, no problema. See, entiendo, no problema, entiendo." And finally, I said, "Ma'am, there are two things I think, with all due respect, you need to keep in mind. One, he really doesn't understand a word you're saying, and two, to him, a delayed flight really is no problema."
No.
It's right, right. So you catch the next. And she said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, really." So relax, and go grab a cup of coffee at the Cafe Americana.
It's so true. That's a great point to make, Carter. In this part of the world, whether it's Belize, Nicaragua, Honduras, I'm sure places I've traveled, the lifestyle, it's very laid back. They don't get in a hurry. They don't get all worried if things maybe aren't
No,
smooth, and you really have to learn to let it go. I see, the Frozen song. I'm a Disney fan. In my head, I'm singing let it go, like a lot. But you eventually, once you've been in this part for a while, you become kind of in that same mindset. And now when I go back, I get a little frustrated in the States because it is too fast. Like, it's too much for me. It's too fast paced because
yeah,
I've gotten accustomed to how things are here.
yeah. Maybe they should recut the old My Fair Lady song instead, and make it "I've grown accustomed to your pace" instead of "face." What do you think? You have a great voice. You could cut that record.
Just rewrite it. That's perfect. Oh, there's so many other things, Carter. The safety aspect. I always, I have my routine. I'm sure everyone does when they travel, but you know, I'm 50 years old. I'll admit that. And guess what? I still let my mother know. I still check in with my mom. I let her know my flight plans, where I'm going to be. So it's just good practice to let your family and friends know when you're traveling, kind of update them. I always, just out of respect and love for my mom, when I land, I'm always like, landed, just landed, all good, just to kind of check in. When you land in Managua, here's a great tip for those people that maybe, I like to get off. I try to book a ticket at the front of the plane, as close to the front as I can get. I found, especially during COVID, that was my number one advice to people, because in a lot of the airports, you had to, show your COVID test or show your whatever, mess. And so I would get really frustrated because sometimes the lines were long. So I would always book as close to the front of the plane. And guess what? I was ready and got off that plane. So I would be at the front, show whatever I needed to show. When you come down in Managua Airport, before you go over to the immigration area where you're going to get your tourist visa and stuff, then there is people standing there with holding VIP signs. And I didn't know when I first started coming in what that was. And they would have a name. And I started listening and asking people, guess what? You don't need to reserve it. You can walk up to one of those people and point. You can point. And like me, you can figure it out without
Right.
most of them, a couple of them know English. Tell them you want the VIP service. Guess what? They ask you for your passport, your $10 for your tourist visa fee, and how many bags you checked. And then, so you give them all your stuff. They leave to go deal with clearing, getting your tourist visa, doing all of that, getting your bags. They take you off to the side. You go through the little scanner with your carry-ons. You go sit in a lovely VIP lounge. They bring you a Coke, maybe a Coke with some rum. You are in Nicaragua, where they have really great rum. They'll bring you a little sandwich and some chips, and you sit there. There's a beautiful big Nicaraguan flag, and you just chill out in the
Wow.
nice AC and wait. Then they come and say, Miss Lawrence, we're ready for you. You pay $34.50 US. It's the best $34.50 I've ever spent. A different door than the masses of people are going with all their bags and stuff that have gone through customs. And your bags are waiting right there along the sidewalk for your driver to pick you up. Do
Wow.
it.
Now, see, I am
Thank me
so
for it.
glad you gave. I'm glad you gave us that tips, because I would have thought, if I got off the plane and saw people holding signs that said VIP, I would have thought they were waiting for someone that had that was part of a company, let's say, right?
Right.
But you can just go up and hire them yourself for $34.50.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's an
It's all
incredible deal. And you relax while they take care of all the leg work.
no stress, no worries about being able to communicate and explaining you're coming in and all that kind of stuff. You have to have your, on the plane, they give you the form to fill out for
Oh
customs. So
yeah.
you complete that. Here's another thing. Let me tell you this, because we get this question a lot too, especially for people that maybe are going to do an extended stay in this country. Find out, that's another question to ask. Belize, when you go in, it's a 30-day tourist visa. Here in Nicaragua, it's a 90-day. So that's one of the things you want to figure out when you're traveling.
Yes.
Say you get there, get here in Nicaragua, you're loving it, you're here for 90 days. What do I do then? Like, I want to stay for a little bit longer. Same Belize, 30 days. You can. You go to the immigration office and you can extend your stay. Here, you could go to Managua and extend for 30 days. Like for me, this is a perfect example. Today, I'm going to make what I call a border run because my 90 days is up tomorrow. And guess what? I want to stay a little longer. So I'll go to Costa Rica, do the border crossing. Hi, Costa Rica. Great being here. But guess what? I think I want to go back to Nicaragua. Then I'm going to come back in and have another 90-day tourist visa. So that's how you do it. I'll try to capture some footage today so you can kind of get a feel for what a border crossing would look like. I know in Belize, same thing. You go on the island there where I go, Ambergris Caye. You go to the immigration office. You say, I love this place. Can I stay another 30 days? You fill out some forms. You get your 30-day stamp, and you're there. Legally.
All right. Let me make a point of clarification, because you described two different ways. In Nicaragua, you need to cross the border and come back in, right?
Yes.
I mean, it can be just cross the border. What'd you say?
If you want the 90 days, you can.
If you want the 90 days.
Yeah, you can go to immigration office and get another 30 days if you would like.
Oh, in Nicaragua, you can get another 30 days at the immigration office. 90 days. Go over to Costa Rica, grab a cup of coffee, or when I was in Honduras, go to Guatemala, grab a cup of coffee, come back in, and you got another 90 days, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Now, can you leave Belize and do a border crossing and get another 90 days?
No, in Belize, it's only 30 days. They don't do a 90 days. So they do a 30-day tourist visa in Belize. And you can, like I said, now you can go. I have friends that, kind of long term that just keep staying, and they go every 30 days to the little office right across from Tropic Air. They go fill out their form, get their tourist visa, and they stay another 30 days. Now you can, if you wanted to leave and come back in, but it's still 30 days in Belize.
30 days. I know in Honduras, you had to leave at 90 days, go have a cup of coffee. In Guatemala, usually come back, and it was everybody won because there was an $80 exit charge, right?
Oh,
see what I'm saying? So for Honduras, it was great. They made $80 while you had a cup of coffee. You come back in, so everybody won. Everybody wins.
They want you to leave. I think Costa Rica, I forget. I've done it a couple times. I think it's like maybe $7. It's some weird number. And I will tell you, in Costa Rica, if you're doing that border run, they want it to be, if you're an American citizen, it has to be US dollars. You can't use Cordobas to pay. So that's something to always keep in mind, and keep some US cash on you if you're exiting that way.
Excellent. This is just great. This is great. These are this is also very practical. And by the way, I got to say again, we can see the wind blowing through the palm trees and all behind you. Grand Pacifica is simply gorgeous. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Not a bad place.
This is not a green screen behind her.
No, it's real.
Leslie, it is your life. Fantastic. Any other tips and tricks of the trade for us?
Oh my goodness. I'm sure there's more that I could try to think of, but those are my ones.
Those are
the
great.
Most important thing is just get there, fun, lots of fun, explore the country. Don't stay in one place. Some people will get there, check in, and they'll never leave their hotel or their resort.
Oh my God.
You want to get out and experience this country, whether it's here, Belize. There's so many great places. I thought we'll maybe cover Panama coming up too. That's, I've spent some time there. We'll maybe jump over to Belize. I want to share some other places with you. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Nicaragua, but
that's fantastic.
Places as well.
Well, we love you coming to us from Nicaragua. I am telling people more and more, see if you agree with this. See if you agree with me. I think Nicaragua is the single best investment in all of Latin America right now. I just really do. I just really do. I mean, and Grand Pacifica is the single best investment in Nicaragua. And I believe that with all my heart. I mean, this right here, okay? That is an incredible community. And right now, you're selling lots, as we talked about last week,
Yes.
39,000, 39.9, right?
And yes, that's a beautiful corner lot not far from where I'm actually standing here in San Viejo, that community, and it's my hood, it's my neighborhood right now, and it's a beautiful community. Lots of great neighbors. They get together. One of our residents, well, actually two, shared the same birthday. So a couple weeks ago, we all went a couple doors down, and they invited all the residents over, and we had a great birthday bash for them. This past weekend, another resident, it was his birthday, and guess what? He kind of threw us a party for his birthday. We went down. I was like, man, this is great. We went down to the Palapa. He had a live band, food, drinks. We had dancing. It was so much fun. I think he really enjoyed his birthday. The band was great. They were doing a lot of rock and rock and roll and stuff, and it was a cool thing. The singer, he does not speak English, nada. But guess what? He sings every song, all these American songs and rock songs. It was great. So all the expats here were loving it.
It's fantastic. It's a sense of community. Well, you've told us now, we know how great it is there in Grand Pacific and Nicaragua in general. And now you've helped tell us how to get there easily and enjoyably. Make it fun. Make it fun. Thank you, Leslie. This has been fantastic. Thank you for sharing your life, Leslie at large, with us every week. It's excellent. And we'll see you again next week.
Sounds great. I'll be here.
Thank you so much. There you have it, folks. That is, look, you can get a home where she is standing right now. You can get a home for just under $200,000. I always tell people, or you can go to Baltimore and get this house for $200,000, which, by the way, you see the little signs in there, condemned. So kind of a easy choice there. And now, thanks to Leslie, you know how to travel back and forth easily. And as I said, enjoyably. So as I tell you every week, let's do this thing.